Morning.
Morning.
Show of hands. Has anybody here ever felt emotionally hurt, guilty, inadequate, worried, or anxious? Have we covered everybody yet? Have you ever dealt with customers or employees who have those same exact emotions?
Yes.
Would you like to learn some skills on managing those types of emotional people?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? Would that be worth your time?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So, I don't know if you're like me, but when I was a child, I used to make these funny faces all the time, just for fun, right? And my mom would say to me, stop making that face, your face is going to stick that way. You guys had that experience? Or it was kind of a common thing to say back then, so I think a lot of people heard that. As I got older, I noticed that there were not a lot of people walking around with like funny, distorted faces. So maybe my mom was lying to me. Your face can't really stick like that. Or can it? Let's think about this for a second. Our face is made out of muscles. And like any other muscle, they develop over time. Now I can leave here today, go to the gym, work out for 2 or 3 hours. I probably won't wake up in the morning completely buff, right? As much as I'd like to. It's going to take time and attention and a lot of hard work in order to get that way. I think our faces are very similar. Now to demonstrate this point, I brought a few of my friends along. I'd like to introduce them to you. But on your worksheets in front of you, I have the names of my friends. And as I'm describing them to you, if you could just go ahead and write down some of the characteristics about them that stick out to you in the top box there. And then the bottom box is for you. If 2 or 3 people in your organization come to mind that represent this friend, go ahead and jot their names down. All right? So my first friend here, I like to call her Blondie. Okay? She is a very happy person. She's always happy. She's super positive, super energetic, walks in, brightens up the room every time she walks in, right? When we set goals or we talk about engagement or we talk about customer satisfaction, anytime we talk about anything positive, she's just excited, right? She's all in. And it's great. We love having Blondie on our team. But I'm going to introduce you to my next friend here, Old Blue. Now, Old Blue, when we have those meetings, those conversations about goal setting and planning, and we start talking about positivity, he's right there and he's nodding in agreement too. He gets it. He completely believes what we have to say. The thing is Blue completely believes everything we have to say about positivity, and he knows it in his head. Problem with Old Blue? He doesn't feel it in his heart yet. See, he knows the possibilities. He knows the opportunities the organization can provide for him. But with Old Blue, the problem is self-doubt creeps in. He's the one that's constantly asking, why me? When is it going to be my turn? I know this stuff works. I've seen it work for other people. It just doesn't seem to work for me. This is a very dangerous place to be in. This is where self-doubt creeps in. You start questioning if you're good enough. So you might even be questioning, does God really love me? Why is everybody else being blessed, but not me? He still has hope, but it dwindles quickly. And then there's my third buddy here, Red. Big Red. Now Big Red, he looks a little bit angry. About the time I start talking about positivity and opportunities, Red just looks like he wants to punch me in the face. You see, Red has had a lot of disappointment in his life. A lot of things that just quite haven't gone right. And for some reason, when we talk about positivity, the different opportunities, goal setting, Red just thinks, well, why bother? It's not going to work anyway. This stuff's not for me. Now the thing about somebody like Big Red here, he probably does a pretty good job, but then just wants to go home. He doesn't want to be bothered with all the extras. He just wants to do his job and have people leave him alone. I mentioned that our faces are made of muscles. And it takes developing those muscles. In the bottom box there, did you think of 2 or 3 people that represented each of those different colors? Take a minute, just jot down a couple names. Make sure you have at least 2 people that you can think of that are like Blondie, 2 people like Old Blue, and 2 people like Big Red. First names that come to mind, just jot them down. Okay, now the next part of this exercise, in the narrow column there, I want you to think about this. You have an important task that needs to get done. Of all the names, you should have at least, 7, 8, 9 names down on that paper? Who would be the first 3 people you would turn to accomplish an important task you know that needs to get done? Just regardless of the task, who are your first 3 go-to people that you know you can count on? Just put a check mark next to their name. So as I suspected, as I'm looking around the room, almost everybody put check marks next to Blondie, didn't you? How many of you put a check mark next to Big Red? Somebody in your red column, did anybody check that off? Most of us don't, right? Right? Because let's face it, we want to work with people that we like to be around. And Blondie's fun to be around. Do we want to work with people like Big Red? Now consider this for a second. Looking at your organization, understand that everybody in your company is uniquely qualified and uniquely gifted. What would it mean if you understood the gifts and talents of everybody in your organization? What would it do for Big Red if you came to him and said, listen, Red, I know you're busy. I know you don't want to put in extra time or the extra work. You got things to go to. I understand that. But I have this project, and I think you are the only one that can make this happen the way I want it to work. I think you're the guy for this project. What's going to happen to Big Red? Exactly, right? He's going to puff up a little bit. He's going to get a little dose of self-esteem. See, part of Big Red's problem to begin with is he questions his self-worth. Like, do these people even acknowledge me? Do they recognize the work that I'm doing? See, a lot of times we get discouraged because we don't get recognition. We don't feel accepted. We don't feel like we fit in. In essence, the difference between the 3 levels, the 3 different colors, is their level of faith. When I say level of faith, what I mean is the level of belief that they have that everything can work out, that things are going to go well. See, Blondie, everything goes well for her. She's all in all the time. Blue, he still believes it can work, but he questions if it does for him. Now, Red, most of the time he's thinking, why bother? This won't work. So start thinking about what it would mean to delegate tasks that Red would be good at. For one, you're going to get better productivity. You're going to see better results because he's more equipped to handle that task. But the more important thing you're going to see is him begin to make a shift in his own personality. You're working out his facial muscles for him. See, when we talk about muscle development, most of us manage emotional people the same way we manage like a pulled hamstring, right? We wait till it inflames and becomes a big problem, then we rush in and we just try to provide emergency care to that situation. It takes up time and attention, and it hurts. But world-class athletes, they train the whole body consistently so that that pulled hamstring is less likely to occur. So in your organization, what would it look like if you were consistently working on the emotions of the entire organization just by getting to know your people and doing interest inventory tests with them, figuring out what they like, what they're good at, what tasks you can delegate to them in the future, regardless of what their face muscles look like, right? Better productivity, happier employees will result in happier customers, and eventually a healthier, happier business. Would it be worth it to do an interest inventory and skills assessment with your employees?
Yeah,
Great.
sure.
Yeah.
See me in the back. I'll help set that up for you.
Great.